Yes, you have reached a sleep training account. I make no lies about that. However, if you have been trying sleep training and it is not working or it doesn't feel right, it may not be you. You just may not be ready yet. Hi, my name is Sarah Bossio, and as the owner and lead certified pediatric sleep expert at Your Zen Baby Sleep, I work with exhausted parents of children ages 0 all the way up to 8 years old. I help them to create flexible schedules, establish peaceful bedtimes, and teach their children to sleep through the night so that the entire family can get the rest and sleep that they so need and deserve. We do this through sleep training, but it is not for everyone. And today, I am going to be talking about the 5 reasons that you might not be ready to sleep train yet and what to do instead. The first reason why you might not be ready to sleep train is because your baby actually is just too young. So this is a pretty easy one for me to cover. I typically don't recommend sleep training until your baby is at least 16 weeks old. This is when the circadian rhythm is established in our system so that we know that our babies are able to take advantage of their melatonin production, to be able to get on a schedule, they're able to sleep longer stretches at night, and to enjoy longer stretches in between feeds as well. What do you do instead of sleep training then before the age of 16 weeks old? I want you to work on full feeds during the day and work on routines versus schedules. The routine that I really love families to follow in the early weeks and months of life are eat, play, and sleep. So feed the baby, play with the baby, and then sleep for X amount of minutes. Follow wake windows according to age, and really just focus on those full feeds during the day so we can start to see longer stretches at night. Take a deep breath, exercise some patience, and eventually you will get to the point where your baby will be old enough and developmentally ready to sleep train. This is another popular reason that I see in parents who are not ready to sleep train. It's just emotional readiness. So you might not be emotionally ready to sleep train if any type of crying causes you anxiety. So we know that sleep training is going to have some type of crying associated with it. So if you have started the process of sleep training and did realize that it would cause crying, and now your baby is crying and it is causing you anxiety, and this is resulting in inconsistency, so we are going and responding, or we are not following the plan, or now there is tension between our partner, this is a sign that you are not ready to sleep train at this moment in time. Your baby really needs calm and confidence from you as their caregiver. And when we are really anxious, they are going to co-regulate with our emotions, which will only increase their level of crying more. So if you are not ready for that level of crying yet, or if you do not feel emotionally ready for the task of sleep training, instead, what I want you to do is just do some research, right? Do some research that will help you feel better about the process of sleep training, or find a method that aligns with you and your family's views so that you feel better about the process of sleep training on a whole and the crying that is a natural side effect of teaching your children independent sleep. Reason number 3 is that you have an inconsistent environment or you have a lot of life events going on. For example, if you are in the process of renovating your house and you are moving, so you're sleeping at grandma's house and you really don't know when you're moving from grandma's house to your new house. If you are starting a new daycare, if you are in between vacations, if your baby just got off of their major illness. Any of these situations are cause for pause. I want you to stop. I would want you to not sleep train during any of this. You are not ready. Your baby would not be ready. Instead, I want you to manage the medical issue if there is illness. I want you to make sure that you have at least 3 to 4 weeks in your sleep environment so that we have a consistent sleep space. If you're starting a new daycare, I would like you to have at least 2 weeks to adjust to the daycare before we start the sleep training method so that we can really give our children a fair shot at about the consistency, and then give them the learning opportunity for independent sleep habits. You are not ready for sleep training. Reason number 4, if you are expecting an absolutely no cry sleep solution. So even in the book that is titled The No Cry Sleep Solution, the first or second page says there is no such thing as a no cry sleep solution. It gives a disclaimer about that. And what this means is that you're teaching your child something new that is different from what they are totally used to, and our children are supposed to protest our boundaries. That is what they are wired for. It is developmentally appropriate. So therefore, when we set unrealistic expectations about what we want our children to do or what we expect them to do that are not aligned with what is developmentally appropriate, we are going to set ourselves up for failure. So we will not be ready to sleep train if we are expecting that our children will never cry. Instead, what we need to do is either choose not to sleep train and choose another way to manage our sleep, because sleep training is not the only option in order to get sleep for our families, or we need to do research into understanding that there are no negative effects on crying and finding a method that will suit our family's learning style and our children's learning style in the best way that makes us the most comfortable in order to follow through on a method consistently. And the last reason why we're not ready to sleep train is because our baby just has an unmet physical need. And this could mean teething, developmental milestone, reflux, anything in these categories. We want to make sure that we meet any medical needs first before we take care of behavioral needs, right? So that's the first question that I have on my questionnaire when I'm working with my families one-on-one. Any medical needs that may come up need to be addressed, because we will only make so much progress behaviorally if we have something like teething going on, right? And for example, teething is only going to last 2 or 3 days, so we don't need to put off sleep training for that long. But if we have an undiagnosed reflux issue, that's going to cause a lot of discomfort. And I want to get a doctor involved. I want to discuss with GI. I want to understand if we need to have some type of medication like baby Pepsid, or is there a formula change that needs to happen? Do we need dietary restrictions for the nursing mom, right? So if we have anything that's a deeper issue, it is not going to be successful when we try to implement behavioral changes via sleep training when there's all of these other medical issues going on. This could be a reason why we are not ready to sleep train, and we really want to get to the root of those first. And then once we solve the root of the medical issues, we can then move forward with any behavioral changes and have successful sleep training in a very short period of time. Please know that not being ready does not mean that you failed. It means that you followed your instincts, you followed your baby's cues, and you've decided to pause and reassess. And I love that. You know your child best. And as I always say, no doesn't mean no in these circumstances. It just means not now. I would love for you to take this video and feel empowered to do some research and to find the right resources and the right time to go about sleep training when your family is ready. Because when you're ready, you're going to feel confident, you're going to feel empowered, and that confidence and empowerment is going to make you feel calm and ready to teach the skills. When you're ready to teach the skills, your child will feel that, and it will be so much easier for your family, and you'll see that they will learn how to fall asleep so much more easily and in such an efficient way, because you are your child's best teacher. I promise you that. I totally believe that you are your child's best teacher. If you found this video helpful, please let me know by giving it a like. And if you have questions about my personal screening about when I see if parents are ready to sleep train, leave it in the comments. I love interacting with all of you and answering any sleep questions that you may have. Make sure you subscribe to my channel so that you're the first to know when I publish my latest sleep content. And as always, from my living room to yours, thank you so much for joining me today, and I can't wait to see you next time.